Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the Disney Newsreel. So, we wanted to start a new video series that we do. I don't know if we'll do it every week, or, we'll do it as often as we can, I think. Yeah. Just talking about different Disney news, whether that's parks, or Disney company, like movies, or Marvel, or, whatever it happens to be. Mm-hmm. So, we'll generally, a lot of times, try to keep them pretty short, unless there's a story that warrants us spending a lot of time on. So we have 4 stories that we wanted to look at today. Okay, so our first story you have on there is the Main Street Mini.
So in the US they had delayed the monthly releases for Main Street Mini, and I'm sure it's because the Shop Disney website was kind of garbage.
It was not doing what it needed to do.
Everything was getting purchased by bots. You couldn't get in or out. You would get to the checkout screen and it would just sit and load. Yeah, no, just trying to check out and buy any of that stuff was an absolute disaster. Yeah. The only things that because we've tried every month to get things.
Yes.
And the only month I was able to get anything was the first month I got Space Mountain pins and the Magic Band.
Right, yeah.
And then you were able to get the Tiki Room mug.
Yeah, it was just the mug, though. I wasn't able to get the ears or the mini plush or the pins or anything.
Which I didn't care about the plush.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to try it, just
see if we could.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a disaster and impossible to get in or out.
And then the website takes like 20 minutes to load anything, and so it was just one of those things that was like, it was just getting really bad.
So they have come out with a new way to do their monthly releases, and they also did it with their quarterly release of the Castle Pin set. So what they're doing is they open up a lottery, basically. You are allowed to enter your account in for one each of the items. And then they do a drawing and you receive an email for what items you've been selected to be able to purchase.
Yep.
I'm not sure how I feel about this.
We'll just have to see how it goes.
We should if we get chosen. If we get chosen, we should receive an email around 6 tonight, and then we will be open for purchase tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So we'll see how it goes. It seemed like it did okay for the Castle Pins, but it's still that luck of the draw issue, and I think that's what people are having trouble with, is that, I mean, and granted, before it's luck of the draw too, but I feel like this is maybe a little bit more fair.
Yeah.
It just doesn't, I don't think it makes things any easier than just fighting for it. At least if the website was up and running correctly and you just didn't time in right, then at least you can justify and say, darn, it just wasn't fast enough. And now this kind of puts the blame on Disney.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see how it goes, and we'll have to update you.
Yeah.
And
see if we can get anything for ourselves. Yeah. We'll see. The next story is actually from Tokyo Disney World. Or Disneyland, Tokyo Disneyland. Wow. So the headline was, "Characters respond to early earthquake warning during parade at Tokyo Disneyland. Warning issued by mistake." So, I'll read a little bit of what was going on here. So this is, guests at Tokyo Disneyland this morning believed they were being greeted by some of nature's strongest forces as the daily greeting parade, or Aisatsu, was interrupted by an early earthquake warning. So this will it's essentially a preemptive earthquake warning that they'll send out when there's a possible earthquake coming, when they're reading the seismic charts and stuff like that. And then it was later announced that the warning was issued by mistake, although guests claim to have felt a mild tremor. And so what happened is that, because there's a little video on here in the news article, and what happened is that there was a customer, it didn't sound like they did an announcement, at least not at first. They didn't do an announcement over the PA system. I don't know if that was because they hadn't gotten to the PA, and so like...
Well, from this, it looks like they were already in process of ducking and stuff, so we may have missed it. It may not have been in the video, yeah.
But Regardless, it sounds like it's most likely a cast member that's yelling a warning, obviously in Japanese. And I can only catch a couple of words, or one word really. But she's just sitting there constantly yelling the same thing over and over again, and you see everybody around during the parade duck down into kind of the safe position. They're on there, they're kind of kneeled down with their hands over their heads, and you can see the characters on top of the float doing the same thing. And then they found out later that it was issued by mistake. So does it say? Let's see.
There's all kinds of videos.
Yep. Later on, a park-wide announcement was made indicating that the warning was issued in error. There we go. This announcement made in Japanese and English stated the following: "Ladies and gentlemen, the emergency earthquake warning announced previously was issued by mistake. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused you. Thank you." And then, obviously, no guests or characters were harmed in the false emergency earthquake warning. And that has to do a lot with the Japanese people and the Japanese culture. Like, they aren't a very panic-heavy culture. Like, they're very trained in things like, especially with earthquakes, because they get them sometimes. They're very well trained in an earthquake warning is issued, or if you feel an earthquake start, they know what to do. So, I mean, much like in, like, say, California, because they happen so frequently. So, but everybody got into safe position and everything, and everybody ended up being fine. And I mean, obviously it was issued by mistake, but nobody like tried to run and was trampled each other and stuff like that. Right. So, all right, the third one. What is the third one?
Pixar has announced their new film that is going to be released summer of 2021, so next summer. Yep. And it's called Luca.
And I absolutely adore Pixar movies. I think they're always really well done. So I'm pretty excited to see what this one is about.
This is interesting. It's a adventure on the Riviera, which is fun because didn't they just open a resort?
It is a DVC resort called the Riviera, yes.
It's very interesting. So I'm wondering if that means we might see some aspects of this pop up in the Riviera.
It's possible, yeah. Luca, coming to theaters summer 2021, is directed by Enrico Casarosa and produced by Andrea Warren. It tells the story of Luca, a boy who spends the summer of a lifetime in a seaside town on the Italian Riviera. And so, yeah, it might show that, but it's just based on the Italian Riviera in general, so I don't think they would really need to add anything or change anything in the Riviera.
No, but we might see like some artwork pop up, or
that's true.
And things like that might pop up.
Yeah, that's true.
And that might be the place to go, because you know how the resorts have like resort-specific merchandise? We might see Luca merchandise show up in the Riviera, and that might be the place to go to get that stuff.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
And there's some other stuff on here. I won't read that one because it's like a...
I think they're mostly just different announcements from different people, basically.
Well, I don't want to read this one because it's like, if this is actually true, that would be kind of the spoiler.
Yeah, no, let's not read that. I just think they're all a bunch of like...
But yeah, and Pixar also released a charming piece of concept art showing two kids jumping off a cliff into the water below. And then it poses a question, that could one of them be Luca?
I would assume yes.
I would assume so. I'll see if I can't get this, like take a screenshot of this or something and put it on there so you can see the concept. It's really pretty. And if that's some of the actual, well, that's concept art, but regardless, like the landscape is really pretty. And
we'll probably see it in Pixar's classic animation style. It probably won't look like this, but still, that's a really interesting plot.
Yeah. So I think that'll be kind of interesting. But like I said, I always like Pixar movies. I think they're always really well done. So I'm excited for that. Yeah. So, all right. Last but not least, we are going to talk about the retheming of Splash Mountain. The retheming was announced a couple weeks ago now, I think so, but we haven't had a chance to talk about it. But for those who don't know, the Splash Mountain ride at Disney World and Disneyland California are being rethemed from the Brer Fox, Brer Bear, Brer Rabbit kind of stories from Song of the South to Princess and the Frog. Now, I mean, I like that they're being rethemed. I don't necessarily, I mean, Princess and the Frog kind of fits. It fits better than anything we could think of, because Anna and I had been talking about this for quite a while.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that we thought it needed to be rethemed because of the kind of possible political climate, or like the possible racial overtones that could be associated with it. It was just because
it's outdated.
No, it was very outdated. The animatronics were always in need of repair. It was just, I think it was just time for a refurbish. Like, nobody understood what was going on anyway. Like, the kids had no idea what was going on.
Yeah,
they were just like, oh, there's some animals. Like,
I think it was kind of a hard story to follow.
Even for people like us, because we've never seen the movie yet.
No, and like I could follow the story, like but I think that it loses some of its what is that word, resonance with people, because it has a really good story. It's you know, but I think it just doesn't resonate very well with the younger generation.
Yeah,
and they have no idea of the source material for it, and I just don't think it fits very well with Disney's overall.
Yeah, it just doesn't really fit anymore.
And so like it kind of is sad. Like, I liked Song of the South, Splash Mountain, but
it's a fun ride and it's very cute.
Yeah,
but yeah, it definitely needs that reskin.
Yeah, and I think that it will draw more of the younger audience with the retheme.
Because most of the people that are going on it are kids that are being dragged by their parents to go on this.
Yes,
or some of them that are more interested in the big drop than anything else going on in the ride. If you give them something else that they might like and care about,
the ride might be more.
Then it might be more of a draw.
Which is interesting, because it's not that Splash Mountain was ever unpopular, because it always has a really big line, decent wait time,
like an hour-long wait line.
But I just don't think that it's. I think it could be better.
Yes.
That's my feelings on it.
Yeah. So they are retheming it to Princess and the Frog, and it is what Disney has come out and announced is that the story of the ride will take place after the events of the movie. And so it's, I think from what it sounds like, is supposed to be that they're on their way to, it's like they're going to a party, or like Mardi Gras was starting again.
It was like a music festival.
Yeah, a music festival, that's what it was. So Tiana and I think Naveen and Lewis are supposed to be on their way to this music festival. And then, so that's like, and they have to like go through the bayou and stuff, I guess, to get there. And so I'm excited to see what they do with it. And I am excited to see it because I absolutely love the music from Princess and the Frog. And so I'm excited to see what kind of music and what kind of soundtrack they put in there. I'm excited for that.
See, I think that has potential, but I wish that, because right before Disney announced this, there was a potential leak of a fan art rendition of retheming to Princess and the Frog, and I think that's all just convenient timing.
Right.
But in theory,
I think Disney probably just used that to try to gauge the reaction.
I think so.
I think is what they did.
But the original, like the fan concept was that this would be kind of in line with the movie storyline, and I think that would have been that's going to be a better storyline than this music festival craziness, because the way the ride is set up, it matches perfectly with that storyline. You can get them. I still really want, as you're going up the hill towards the drop, I really want Dr. Facilier's friends on the other side the whole way you're going up, just going bum 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 bum. Are you ready? And you have the shadows on the wall, like that would be perfect. Of course, I also wanted it to be Moana, so that you're going up that hill and you just have Maui saying, "Can I say except we're dead soon?" I also really wanted that, but you know, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. But yeah, that's my only thing, is I wonder what they're going to do with the drop, because Shadow Man is gone. Yep, at this point, the Shadow Man has gotten, Facilier has been dragged into hell, essentially, I guess, or the Shadow Realm, or wherever. And so there is no Dr. Facilier. So are they going to have to make a new bad guy to make the drop make sense? Because it's like a dark thing. I don't know. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Is I kind of like the idea of following the story of the movie. Yeah. Better than some after plot. Although I do hope that we get to ride Splash Mountain as it is one more time. Next year. They're not. But I don't think they'll start to refurbish it until after the 50th. Yeah, they're going to have it open for the 50th because it's going to be a big draw. Yeah. So they're not closing anytime soon.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all we had for today. So hopefully we will see what we have next week. If there's any interesting stories, we'll be back again for our Disney Newsreel. So thank you all for joining us this week. And until next time, don't forget to thank the Phoenicians.